Miley Cyrus and Fly on the Wall. It's Friday morning on Felixstowe Radio Breakfast then. A very good morning to you. It's Daniel Morley here. I hope all is well. 7:32 is the time. And it's Friday morning. You know what this means. It means none other than Mr. Tommy Larkins is here in the studio. Good morning, Tommy.
Ooh, hello, Dan. How are you?
Well, this is the big one, though, isn't
This
it?
is Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Yeah. What's the word? Happy. Yeah.
Happy pre-Halloween. Happy
Yeah.
Halloween.
Yeah, 2 days before. We'll pretend.
Yeah.
So, obviously, the final part of October.
Yes.
And it means one thing. But first, we need to press play on the new music.
Oh, yes.
This gets people out of bed quicker when they hear that sound. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me
What
too.
have you got for us?
So, well, considering we're so close to Halloween now, I thought I would go with what people consider, and it has been rated on many polls, as the scariest film of all time. It's going to be the 1980 film The Shining, directed by Stanley Kubrick. Considering it's the scariest film ever made, or a lot of people consider it to be the scariest film ever made, it's got to be rated an 18 as a result of that. So
Right, okay.
shout out for that.
So it's not suitable for me then?
No, very much not. Very much not. It was barely suitable for me, to be honest, Dan.
But you don't like horrors, though.
I don't like horror movies either, exactly. But I'll give anything a watch. But it wasn't like a jump scare kind of film, but it's a film that plays on your mind. It's that kind of horror movie.
Oh,
really.
no.
Yeah, really. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend. I'd recommend it to people who like cinema, but to you, Dan, I wouldn't recommend it.
No, I'll just stick with me.
Stick with your Shrek.
Yeah. Love a bit of Shrek.
Shrek is terrifying in its own right, but that's a whole other
It's
review.
a whole different one. Yeah. Go for it.
So, The Shining. What is considered by many as the scariest film ever made, it certainly does tick the uncomfortable factor for me. The pros, of course, go entirely to Jack Nicholson, who carries the film with a chilling performance as Jack Torrance. From the beginning of the film, he gives off an uncomfortable performance with madness and terror brewing below the surface. Stephen King, who was the author of the original novel that this film was adapted from, described this adaptation of his novel as cold, and said as follows. A side note here is Stanley Kubrick, the one who wrote the story. He is not a fan of this film adaptation. He doesn't like this film.
Right.
That's actually based on his own work. He really doesn't like it.
Wow, that's a bit weird.
And this is and I quote Stephen King: Stanley Kubrick's film lacks emotion and is cold, with the hotel freezing at the end of the film, whereas in my novel, the hotel burns to the ground, showing the warmth that was written into it. So, in his own words, he basically says the snow and ice in the film symbolises the coldness and the lack of care of the characters put into the film, whereas in his novel, the building burns down at the end and the fire represents the warmth as such.
Yeah.
So that was his view on it. So, but it's nonetheless, it's still a film that should be appreciated by cinema lovers. But I guess because he's so connected to his work, he disapproved of that as an adaptation.
Okay.
But even if the story has been amended for the film, it still stands as a seismic shift in cinema and contains one of the most chilling performances from arguably one of the best actors in Hollywood history. Jack Nicholson, of course.
Yep.
I think Jack Nicholson might even be my favourite actor of all time, really.
Okay.
So to close, this film is shot to near perfection, but the worst thing about the film to me is oddly the best thing about it too. Jack Nicholson's performance. His performance is character gold on screen, but the one problem with it is, because it is Jack Nicholson, it does not surprise you as much when he goes insane and starts chasing after his family in a fit of murder and madness. So, but either way, a must-see film for people who have a passion for cinema. So, on that note, I will rate this film 4 stars out of 5. And it wouldn't be a shining review or a shinning review if we didn't mention the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror special that they made back in the 90s to spoof this movie.
Hey, I found a shortcut through a hedge maze. Get away, you little! No, go easy on the wee one. His father's gonna go crazy and chop them all into haggis.
What's haggis?
Boy, you read my thoughts. You've got the shinning.
You mean shining.
Shh! You wanna get sued? Now look, boy, if your dad goes gaga, you just use that shin of yours to call me and I'll come a-running. But don't be reading my mind between 4 and 5. That's Willie's time.
Am I right, Dan?
Yep, you're absolutely bang on. I mean, that I can handle.
Yeah, you can handle
I
that.
can handle that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just great. I mean, like, I absolutely love that episode. Do you know what? I might even watch it this Halloween as well, because I haven't watched it for a little while, and it is one of my favourite episodes of The Simpsons. So I look forward to checking that out too. But you know, that's just another part of the legacy that this film spawned. So overall, you know, you just it's a good appreciative film for Halloween.
But it sounds good, but I'll probably stick to the book.
Yeah.
Probably for the best.
Wait, you can read?
Do you always have to finish these with insults? I always want to throw you out at the end of these things.
Just throw me out that window, you know.
Yeah, out the window. Well, thank you, Tommy, of course.
No worries.
No, you're back next week, where obviously Halloween will be gone and forgotten about by then.
All the ghouls will be gone by then.
They'll all be gone. Most people will be putting their Christmas trees up, but we're not going that insane. Not yet, anyway.
No.
Got a few more weeks on that.
Yep.
But what is next month going to be kicking off, Tommy?
Nostalgic November. So we're going to be talking about films that we maybe grew up watching, that we have a passion for. Could be some, you know, animated Disney films, could be Toy Story, could be even be Shrek. Who knows? We'll wait and see what we get to, but either way, I'm very much looking forward to this month.
Absolutely. Well, Tommy, thank you. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. We are not terrifying ghosts at all, are we?
Not at all.
And you putting that sheet over your head didn't help at all.
No, it didn't. Tell you what, 80s at 8, when that kicks off just after 8 o'clock, let's kick it off with Michael Jackson's Thriller.
Yes.
Sounds good, doesn't it?
I love that track.
That is a beautiful track. Before then, though, here's Natalie and Imbruglia now and Wrong Impression. Have a great weekend.
Take care.